This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Patriot Studio Arthur Wayne figure. Now this is something I'm pretty stoked about, but keep in mind this is a third-party action figure, so let's see what we got. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the packaging. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show off the packaging real quick. As you can see, it's a very small, compact box. No real markings of the character itself. We do see the Patriot Studio logo right there. And this is actually just a slip cover, so we can actually slide this off and see the actual box right here. We get a really nice image of the character like so. Patriot Studio. Arthur Wayne, normal model type A. So they are calling him Wayne, so that's actually kind of cool. But this is what I find funny. If you look really closely at the bottom here, it says 112 Miles Morales, real masterpiece. So yeah, man, that's pretty funny. This is a third-party figure, so that kind of things does not surprise me at all. It says Miles Morales, so this is clearly not Miles Morales. Turn the box around right here, we can see a really cool image, again, product image of the character, which looks great. Warnings, labels like that, don't eat this thing basically, but still pretty cool. We can actually open this up right here. It has a little lid with magnets embedded like so, and then we can open it up and see again another image of the character itself right here, and then there's our figure in the little foam inserts, which looks really nice. So super excited about this, guys. I absolutely love this movie. I was just so stoked as soon as I heard about this. I had to have it, and let's go ahead and crack this thing open and see what we have inside. Alright guys, so let's check out this Arthur Wayne figure. Now, I think this is pretty awesome, man. I'm actually pretty pleased with this. Now again, keep in mind this isn't a perfect figure. It is a third-party action figure, so you might have some QC issues here and there. Again, this is unlicensed, which is why he's named Arthur Wayne, which is why they have Miles Morales' name on the box. So just something to note for you guys. But still, I think this turned out really good for the most part. Let's start off with that head sculpt. I think that is killer. I think they did such a good job with that. The face sculpt looks a lot like Joaquin Phoenix. Is it perfect? By no means. But for a 1/12 scale figure, man, that's actually pretty good. The face paint, the eyes, all looks really, really nice. We get it nice and focused there. The hair looks really good. The paint of the flesh looks really nice. Almost looks like he has a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. But yeah, man, the hair again looks really, really nice. There is a bit of a wash on there, a brown wash on top of that. So I think that looks so nice. Again, especially like in certain angles, man, they nail that Joaquin Phoenix look. I think it looks really, really nice. So I love that a lot. The whole bodysuit and the soft goods here is honestly, it feels really, really nice. It actually feels like pretty good quality here. The jacket looks really good. We do have a nice hoodie. It does feel like this is like maybe a little metal right here for the actual zipper, but you can't actually zip it up. You even have the little ties right here for the hoodie, little strings like that, so that's really nice too. You can put the hoodie over the head like that, and it doesn't fit all that well. You know what I mean? You're not going to really get it draping over the head as much as you'd probably like, but it's mostly just supposed to go to the back like so. And you can actually, it looks like you can remove this, but you can see the sleeve coming through right here. So it looks like you probably can remove it if you want to, but I'm not going to really bother that. But even the elastic around like the wrist right here for the jacket looks really good, man. The collar, that vest feels like really good quality. It feels like an actual like sweater vest type material. I think that's really cool. You have his like almost like purple pants right here, looking really nice, fairly tailored for the most part. Back of the jacket right here. Lift this back up here, you see more of the sweater and things like that. More stitched pockets, not actual pockets, they're just stitched to look like pockets. The shoes look really good, no peg holes. We can lift this up right here, and this is trippy. He actually has cloth socks, so those are actually soft goods too, which is really nice. The feet can come off fairly easily, so just so you know when you're articulating around, but they are on ball pegs. You can just pop them right back on and they'll stay there. They're not going to fall off. They're not like loose or anything, but they might pop off here and there. So yeah, I think this guy just looks really, really good, man. Again, I absolutely love this movie. I know a lot of people, or some people, were trying to be cool and be like, yeah, it's not that great, it's overrated. No, it's not. It's a good movie. It is an incredible movie, and I think Joaquin Phoenix nailed it. And man, Patriot Studio, they killed it with this piece. Okay, now let's talk accessories here. So we do get a decent amount of stuff, what you would expect for the character. And one thing you want to do, make sure you check the entire foam insert for all the accessories, because some of the accessories are buried in there. So make sure you got everything out of there. Just kind of squeeze the foam and make sure you got all the plastic out. So we got things like interchangeable hands. You got open palm hands, trigger finger hands, like gripping hands, things like that. Pretty much everything you needed, more loose open palm hands and kind of resting hands. Some for each side, pretty good. They do switch out on little pegs like so. So they actually work out really, really good. Sometimes when it comes to like these third-party figures, their pegs can be pretty weak or they'll pop out of the joints. I haven't had that issue with this particular figure yet. Not to say it won't happen, but so far mine feels pretty tight when it comes to that. So I love that. We also do get a little like lunch sack, a little lunch bag, which I think is really nice. It is actual paper, and it feels like inside there's maybe a piece of foam, so the bag can hold its shape. So I love that, and you can actually grip this in the hands. You can grip all these accessories, holds them pretty well, and you'll see pictures later on of me holding all these different accessories, but that's pretty cool, so I love that. Even this little paper bag right here, which is more like a grocery bag, which is really nice. Again, more of that paper, and you can hold that carrying around like he just got done shopping. So I love this stuff, man. Again, he doesn't need a bunch of crazy accessories. This is the kind of accurate stuff you saw him using in the film, so I love this. Again, you'll see pictures of him holding this kind of things. We also do get, this is really cool, this is really, really tiny accessory, man, but we get his card right here that shows how he has a condition, which I think is pretty funny. Now, I tried to zoom in and get a close-up picture to see if the wording was actually printed on there. It is not. It's kind of just like gibberish, so there's no actual words in there. So, but I think that's cool that they even included this, man, because that is so fun. Okay, next up, we do get his actual cigarette, which again I'm trying to hold in my hand here. It is just so little, but you can see that again, this is one of those accessories that you're definitely gonna want to try and find in the foam, because I almost missed this. I was kind of just squeezing the foam and sure enough it popped out. So careful with that, don't want to lose this. It's such a little accessory, and you can fit it between the fingers, and I'll show you later on with some pictures, but that's still pretty cool that he comes with this actual cigarette, as a lot of toys like the characters that smoke don't actually come with cigarettes and cigars and all that things. So pretty cool that we got this with this guy right here, so I love that. We also, of course, got his revolver. Now this is a big accessory right here. I love this, simple black. It looks like the handle might be a little more polished than the actual rest of the gun, but still pretty nice. I think it looks pretty good, and nice detail to it. Nothing crazy. I was hoping to pop Mezco bullet effect inside the barrel, but there's no actual hole in the barrel, so that's a little disappointing. But still pretty cool that we get it. And you can hold it in his little trigger finger hand right here. Luckily, the hands are pretty soft and pliable enough so you could, bend around the handles and whatever he's gripping like that. And he holds on to it pretty good, so I like that, man. Really, really cool stuff. So that finishes up all his accessories. Again, we don't get a whole lot, but this is exactly what we would have for an Arthur figure, and I think it works out great. Alright guys, now let's run down the articulation, because I know this is a big thing that everybody wants to see here. Now, you're going to see some problems here. So the neck peg, the neck is actually on a ball joint, so it rolls around pretty nicely. You're going to get left and right, up and down about that much, then wobble side to side. But the problem with this is, this ball peg comes off so easily. And then once you actually put it on there, it's not going to fall off. It's not like it's dangling or wobbling or anything like that. But when you're articulating it, it's going to just slide right off. And I'm not sure what this said. I popped this on all the way. I try to get on there as tight as possible. And then as soon as I look up like that, right off the peg. So actually when I first opened it and I saw it in the insert, it actually came like this. Like he already had his neck like broken off like that. I was like, oh no. But still, it stays, you know what I mean? Once you have it posed, it's fine. Again, it's not going to come off or anything like that. Again, it's not loose, but when you do articulate it, it just comes off so easily. That's disappointing, and I think it might be the ball socket itself just isn't deep enough to really grip onto the actual ball peg. So I think that's what it is. But it holds on there fine like that. Once you have it posed on a shelf, it'll be okay. So arms go all the way up about that much, down that far, up and out that much. There does feel to be a tiny butterfly joint in there. I'm trying to feel in the plastic. It feels like there kind of is a little butterfly joint in there, maybe not, but yeah, I think there is, might be. Rotation at the bicep. We got double jointed elbows that bend about that far. We got rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist, so that actually works out very, very nicely. So there you go. So that works out pretty good. As we do get, seems to be a, oh man, so it kind of feels, and you can really see his head kind of like popping off right here. It kind of feels like there's a double ball peg in the midsection that goes into his crotch and then into his chest area. So that actually rolls around fairly nicely. You can rotate left and right, pivot side to side pretty well, and crunch back and forth. So that actually feels pretty good. You can crunch forward probably about that much, and his head just fell off. See what I'm saying? And then back about that far. So decent articulation. I mean, he's not going to not be doing any like ninja type poses, but you know, he's just going to be walking around looking creepy on your shelves. So I think that works for what it is. We got hip joints that kick forward about that far. We got about that much. Yeah, really actually nothing going towards back. So splits that far. That's pretty decent. I like that. Rotation in the upper thigh. We got double jointed knees where he can kick himself in his own butt, so that's actually really nice. And then we got ball pegs at the ankles right here, so those roll around, rotate up and down, and a really good ankle rocker. So the articulation, I think, works pretty good for the most part. The clothing doesn't hinder it all that much. Again, I feel like the clothing is actually really good quality. So the articulation, again, feels really good for the most part. Nothing feels loose, nothing feels flimsy. The ankles might be a tiny bit loose, but not really. I haven't had problems standing them up. My biggest thing is going to be that head, how it just pops off so easily. You saw it pop off a couple times already. But other than that, I think this is really rad. He's a really nice looking figure, and I'm just so stoked to add this to the collection. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and NECA Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to a 1000 Toys Dante and Bullethead V-Mask. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to a Mezco 112 Collective Joker. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of Arthur Wayne. Now let's start off with the complaints first. I think my biggest issue is going to be that his head sculpt completely falls off almost every time you articulated him. Now it's not terrible because it will stay on there pretty solid once you have it posed on a shelf, so that's pretty good. My other issue is probably going to be the height. As you saw with my size comparisons, he's a pretty small guy, and I do wish he were a lot bigger. Also, I kinda wish we had gotten a laughing face. I feel like that would have really set this figure off to something extra special instead of just getting the one singular stoic head sculpt. But other than these things, I think he's pretty solid. The soft goods are very well done. I actually really like the articulation, and he has a ton of cool accessories. But man, that face sculpt of Joaquin Phoenix is very well done. It looks a lot like the actor, and overall I think it's just a great figure. Again, even with the issues, I still love it, and I think he'll fit in great with any of your collections. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.